The heat broke, y'all, and we got some fantastic fall weather. Before I show you what I got going on out here, let's check in with my buddy Doug down in Zone 6B, Southern Illinois.
Hey Ray, thanks for having me. The garden for the fall is in full swing. Last week I went out and I got my pumpkins hardened off and I got them actually planted in a bed. This week I'm in the process of hardening off my broccoli, my Brussels sprouts, and my cabbage. Have all those guys in there and have those guys ready to go so I could plant them this weekend. It's going to take a process about 4 or 5 days to harden those off, but we should get those guys in the beds. Looking at some of the stuff I'm going to be harvesting this fall pretty quick. I got some green beans, they're looking good. The okra's looking fantastic. Hopefully the okra grows up and does a little bit better with the lacking of the heat. But the okra is growing. The cucumbers are starting to flower back there, so hopefully I'll be able to make some pickles. I love my pickles. Coming up, I will be planting some more turnips, and I will be planting my sugar snap peas in the garden. I do have to take out some melons that I had in the garden, get those guys out of the garden, and get that spot cleared for my sugar snap peas. Hopefully those will be taken off. I am a little bit behind the 8 ball on the sugar snap peas, getting those in the ground, but I believe I should still get a good harvest with those. I am taking those and I am wrapping them in a paper towel to get those guys germinated sooner than later. So hopefully by this weekend they'll be germinated and I can get them into the ground as well. Things are moving along here pretty well. Ray, I hope your garden is doing just as well as mine. Loving to have all this fall cooler weather. Finally the heat is broke. Thanks again for having me, Ray. Cheers, everybody.
Thank you, Doug. It's very inspiring to see what you got going on down there. I have learned a lot from you, so thank you so much, brother. But hey, let me show you what I got going on out here. So let's break this down into 3 areas. The first area is all the fall crops, and I'm so glad you talked me into growing these fall carrots. I'm super excited to see how they taste. They're supposedly sweeter, and they're going to be really nice for some of the fermented things that I do, such as jalapenos, carrots, and onions. That stuff is so good, y'all. And if you watched the last fall video, you know that I prematurely put these broccoli in the ground, and they're doing great. In fact, I've got some really good growth on these guys, and I got a feeling we'll be eating off them before too long. The other thing I did is I planted a bunch of seed in here. I just direct sowed, and they popped up, y'all. I'm actually really impressed with this. Well, not that weed per se, but everything else is looking great, and so's the kohlrabi. I've got a coworker that really wants to try this. She's quite the chef, so if these things pop, I'm gonna bring her some. So the second area is all the herbs and things that I'm doing in successions, such as lettuces, spinach, things like that. And as you can see, I have harvested quite a bit out of this cilantro barrel, and it's still coming, y'all. In fact, let's take a look at the other barrel. This one's doing very well also. I really haven't harvested too much out of here, and this side never germinated. So I'm actually gonna harvest it this weekend, the whole thing, and I'll replant it, see what happens. And right next door to the cilantro is the dill patch. This is doing really, really good. Thing is, this grows proficiently in the spring and so in the fall. So I might not get a huge harvest, but I hope to get enough to do some pickles. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the third area of fall gardening for me, and that is harvest. In fact, let's take a look in the big garden, y'all. It is tomato city up in here. I have picked so many of these Romas and the San Marzanos, all the plums. I mean, they are just looking fantastic. Look at this guy. That is just beautiful, y'all. The tomatillos are doing pretty amazing also. I've picked maybe 3 times. I've canned quite a bit of green sauce, but these things are huge, y'all. I mean, look at that. That's probably small compared to some of the first ones I picked. They look like gigantic green tomatoes. I was blown away. Lots of tomatillo sauce. But let's actually walk in there. I'll show you what's going on. I've been slowly but surely picking all the potatoes, and this guy like here I've let dry out. I still need to harvest that, but the peppers back here did absolutely horrible. If you've watched my other videos, you know that they just really didn't grow that well back here. But the carrots are just out of control. I've got more tomatillos and a lot of gourd squashes and melons. Just like you, Doug, I've got plenty of green beans I'm gonna need to pick here before too much longer. These have all flowered. I really haven't had a lot of fruit just yet, but it's a little early for that here. You can see the other side of these tomatillos. They just look so good. We got plenty of melons we need to start getting after here. You can see this guy. It is just absolutely beautiful, huge, and ready to be eaten before too much longer. It's been a great year, Doug. It really, really has. You know, something to think about, Doug and I are really only half a zone away from each other. We could drive to each other's houses in like half a day, and his cucumbers are doing amazing still. In fact, he succession planted, it looked like, and he still has a whole nother wave. I succession planted in 3 waves, I guess you could say, and they're pretty much all done here. I may pick 2 or 3 more times. I'll probably can cukes maybe twice more into pickles, and that's gonna be it for me. And the same thing with these peppers, y'all. I have been picking off of here for at least 2 months, and they just keep proficiently growing back, and I can't give enough of these away, and I'm more than likely gonna continue to pick for another couple months. This is absolutely insane, and I think you can see the differences between the gardens, even in that half a zone, which is mind-boggling. Which I guess there's really 4 fall areas. I said there was 3, but honestly, fall projects, man, that area is just as overwhelming as trying to get stuff planted as the weather changes. But this is the new compost bin. I'm really hoping to have this thing finished within, I don't know, the next week, because we have a lot of videos we need to film once this thing is built. I've got a lot of sanding to do. Got to get rid of any harmful stains on the inside of this and get this thing ready. And if you want to check out that composting series, it's coming soon. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much, Doug, for stopping by, showing us all your amazing stuff. I can't wait to see how things slow down as we start rolling into winter. We'll catch you next time. Ray out.